Well, okay, sorry. Okay, my name is Andres Quintero. I am from Ocaña Norte, Santander, but currently I'm living in Honda, Tolima. I'm in eighth semester and I'm working for a hospital. And I don't have, well, I'm still not teaching English. Roberto? Well, I think that it's right that Colombia is not in its best time of good education. I have read about it and it say we have the last places on the test of PISA and the other ones, and that is caused because our teachers are the ones the oldest ones, and we have to wait until 25 years for the last old teacher leave working. So it is too because, well, that's all I think so. Well, I agree with you both, your standpoint, because I think that the problem is of the students, is of the teachers, and is of the government, because the government is not expending money on teacher, uh, since home parents are not um, motivating students to improve themselves, and teachers, there's teachers that are just going to school or university just to teach something, and that's all, and they just repeat and repeat and repeat, and they don't motivate the students and try to do uh, things a little bit different. They are just teaching always the same, and students get bored. And I say it because when I was at school, I used to be bored in my English classes because my English teacher used to fall asleep while we were in an evaluation.
Okay, do you have anything to say related to the budget? Because, for example, I disagree with Roberto a little bit concerning the budget.
Well, the budget is it's the budget is very important because the government have to expend more money on the environment of the students for they to feel comfy in the place where they are going to learn, because if if they are not going to a comfortable place of learning, they will be bored or I don't know, uncomfortable. I just saw an article that in Will, I think so, teachers are teaching English in in a bar, teaching classes in a bar and in a gallera. And that is not a good environment for students and even the teacher for teaching English. So I think that there is many things that the government have to expand in education.
Well, but we have to, okay, I mean, I can see your point, but let's bear in mind also that um, private schools have a fewer amount of students compared to those in public schools. So it's more difficult to manage 60 students per classroom, or per class, sorry, than 20 or 25, for example. So it's something that I don't think it's definitely it's all the government's fault. I think it's the system. I think it's the curriculum. I think it's everything, but not only the budget. I think it's a little bit of everything. Well, yeah, I agree with you. Well, I think time is up.
Yes, time is up.
Well, guys, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. We can continue some other day.
Well, the pressure was mine, and please forgive me for my bad English.
No, no, it was okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
for communication, not for making people happy.
Okay. Have a good
Okay,
afternoon.
bye bye.
Bye.